Hello, hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. What about you?
Doing good, doing good.
Nice. Good to hear. Well, what's
Yeah.
the latest news so far?
Latest news. Not much. Not much is going on in my life right now. Kind of a chill weekend.
That's all right.
Haven't been doing much. Yep.
Yeah, that's
I
okay.
like. Yep. I like the because my weeks are very busy, so it's nice to have a calm weekend.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Hmm. Yep.
Nice, good. Well, any news you got in the game? What have you been able to do? What kind of games you got so far? Yeah, I see that you mentioned
Uh,
you got the games on pretty much everything, I believe. But yeah.
yeah. Let's see here. So about the games, I haven't played actually too much since we last talked. Let's see here. Yeah, because we had a collegiate game, which we did not win, but that was kind of only Overwatch besides a few solo queue games I did. Um, Yesterday, yeah,
Yeah.
I did three solo queue games and then one lost two, but yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, then we can start with one of those games you sent me. Is that sounds good to you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a look. And pretty much you mentioned the same stuff so far. That's what you mentioned in our initial session. Kind of
Mm.
struggle with positioning yourself sometimes, just being able to understand what space to tank, what kind of you got to do
Mm.
there. Most positional, as far as I remember. That's what.
That and then also target priority. Like I can tell on the code that I sent you towards the very end, I think like I definitely did not do as much as I could have done because I was just looking at an Orisa for too long. I
Target
didn't
priority.
really know who else to go for, you know? Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, we can discuss that more then. Let's take a look at the board, and I'm gonna screen share. I think hey, we mostly gonna focus on SWAT review. Maybe we have enough time to do a live game as well, but let's see what we got. What kind of character you
Okay.
want us to focus on so far?
So I did three in the one, which is actually the three that I am wanting to play for the three comps.
Yeah, of course.
I I played Rammatra for primarily the game, but that being said, I think the first like 5 minutes I played roughly Roadhog, I think.
Yeah, I think it's always the best if we have this kind of 1 hour award reviews. If we just lean towards one character, this
Mhm.
way you can be
Yeah.
the most productive. So, do you
I
want
think
to?
then go for Ramatra, which will be I don't exactly know when it's switched.
Yeah, no, then
But
it's what happened. It seems that
yeah.
on attack you started playing Ramatra. Yeah,
Hmm.
you want to look at this part then?
Oh yeah, so yeah, at one point I switched to Doomfist, but then I kind of quickly swapped back.
Yeah, I see. Yeah,
Yep.
there's kind of brief moments of Doomfist, and then
Yeah.
you go back
Which
to.
yeah, and my idea was like it was like their DPS on the high ground were doing a lot, and I was like maybe this will work. Didn't really too much. I went until I got an alt off, and I swapped back.
Yeah, actually, it could work, especially given your comp, what kind of comp you're playing
Mhm.
right now. Because you have dive, there's quite a lot of mobility. I think Doomfist is quite good, but
Yeah,
it's just
it's
how
more I just
we
don't know
also
how to
play
play
him.
him. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
There's quite a lot of Doomfist actually. You swap remodel the last part
How
right
long was it
there.
actually? I don't remember how how long I played him for.
Yeah,
I
the
thought
game
I
is
played
quite
him way
long
less,
though.
but
Yeah, the game is quite long though,
yeah.
so we'll see. You're probably guys gonna steamroll now, and yeah. So
Mhm.
we can start right now with this
Okay.
here. Yeah, that's alright.
I also just feel like yeah, the Ramatra will be the best for this game because on the Roadhog too, I don't know. It was one of those moments where like I felt myself making bad plays, and I was like, I feel like I don't normally do this kind of thing on my Roadhog, but yeah,
Yeah, that's completely fine. That's fine. I think one of the games, maybe later, you will get the games where you
yeah,
played really well and still lost. We can definitely look into those a little bit
for
more
sure.
on your hog. And I think hog is quite interesting.
Oh yeah.
And take a look at them more. Okay, let's just start with, since you mentioned that there have been some problems with positioning and target priority, I'm just gonna
Mhm.
ask, what are you looking for, Mr. Matara? What do you think? What do you mean to do?
So that so I feel like as Ramatra, like I'm usually going like I can obviously do a little bit of poke damage with my staff, but usually I'm trying to go for typically whoever's closer to me because I can deal the most damage, get the most, like, in a sense, headshots in with my staff before I go into my form. But I feel like I'm usually going for the closer targets. Don't really know exactly who I should be going for. Um, but yeah,
Like,
in a sense, trying to
yeah.
tank the most my other team can do what they want to do.
Yeah, makes sense to me. Okay, let's watch. So this right now makes total sense. Going after Reaper, and then we punish the Hog. Well, at least trying to slow is a little bit awkward, right? But
Yeah,
the next
yeah.
shooting,
That's also one thing is I don't exactly know when to use slow. Obviously, always. Because right there, what I thought is I was thinking maybe the Roadhog's gonna come back at me, but obviously he just went back to his team.
yeah, makes sense to me. Okay. So right on moment, when you look in this, you can do quite a lot. I think in terms of controlling space, the second point, we can try to
Mm-hmm.
just take important positions and set up our team. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking, what is your target priority should be looking like? Who do you shoot right now? Who do you should
Right
shoot? Is
now,
it Prussia there, Hanzo? Or should we just push that hog over there? What do you think?
so I feel like my job right now. I also didn't know the Roadhog was above me at the moment. I don't think, but in my mind, I was thinking maybe pressure the Hanzo so they can't get like they can't get a nice pick on one of my supports,
Yeah.
especially like if Anna's just kind of in the back. But yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So you see a lot of times you gonna pressure. Well, let's just okay. Just one more question. Why pressuring Hans is important? You think?
I think so. I think it's important because like he can like one or almost one shot
Yeah, one
people,
shot.
and like
Okay.
especially for if I have an on in the back, which I actually don't know if my on is back there right now.
Yeah, she
Um,
is on the objective
okay,
now.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So if she's just sitting still and no one's really shooting the Hanzo, then I'm thinking maybe I'll pressure him. He'll have to move out to the side, and he won't be able to get as easy of a
yeah. Yeah, makes sense
pick,
to me.
as well as he'll have a little damage, and maybe I can set up my Genji for something.
Yeah, yeah, makes total sense. And I think your reasoning is good. Generally speaking, to just simplify, would you get a
Mhm.
tank as any tank is you need to actively go after the most active angle on the enemy team. And active angle, what that means is whoever can do a lot of pressure on your team, whoever can do a lot of damage, you just want to pressure them out and
Mhm.
potentially absorb the damage because they will be scared because you pressure them. Maybe you just start using your shield, or maybe you start using defensive as well because they will pressure you. And another thing
Mhm.
is because you actually being pressured, yep, because maybe Hans are shooting you, then the rest of your team is able to control that space comfortably, able to walk. Yep.
Mhm.
So you
Yeah.
just need to identify what this activity, yeah, the active angle wise, what that based on. I think that's what a lot of people struggle with. And like I mentioned,
Mhm.
your reasoning here first is because this guy can do a lot of burst. Yeah, there's good
Mhm.
reason to me. So you can just kind of put it, maybe have those check marks in a way. This guy can do a lot of burst, let's shoot. Okay, there's one check mark,
Yeah.
but there can also be other check marks. I think to just simplify, let's just say this big burst, whatever, it's either cooldowns or damage. Why? So you
Mhm.
just look at this and see, that's quite scary. There's a lot of damage, so let's just shoot that. Another thing is you can look at the position of the target.
Mhm.
I think this can be pretty important to also look at. And I think, well, it's actually good. I think that for now, that's it. There are also extra layers we can add, but I think this is good
Mhm.
enough. And now with the information given, this guy is can apply a lot of damage, a lot of
Mhm.
maybe the cooldowns even can be scary sometimes. So obviously you need to
Yeah.
also just with the storm arrows try to just read if they actually
Yeah.
using that. Yeah. But the position wise is not as scary. So
Mhm.
position wise, maybe they could position on the better spot like this here. But see, once you
Yeah.
pressure them away, what are you gonna pressure now?
The Roadhog behind me.
Yeah, just pressure the Roadhog now. That's more important. And see, it's based on
Mm.
this second trigger. So you have this. You can maybe also cooldowns and damage-wise. I think it's also reasonable. This guy's more dangerous. So kind of 2 check marks. Let's go after that. But before, because this hog was completely useless, yes, they had a good position in a way, but sort of not in the current moment, not doing much. Let's say they just not looking at your team. Yeah, they should be able, usually if you're trying to pressure any good position, you need to pressure that exactly good position. So yeah, just now turning around the shooting. Now just another thing you need to keep an eye on is when pressuring active angles is how do you use your abilities? I think this is gonna be another one. Yeah, so we mentioned, okay, based on the big burst, positional stuff, you can. Okay, okay. So wait. I think we gotta go slightly. Yes, slightly more forward. Okay, should be good. Okay, 5 seconds in, and yeah. So this is where we start. What kind of ability could help you out to pressure this Hanzo? Just so it
The
would be easier.
shields.
Is
Like
it the pressure though? When you're shielding, is it applying pressure on the
Lance,
Hanzo?
no, because he no. Would that be the slow then? Because I know he has his like jump to get out of the way, but when he's slowed, that kind of
Yeah.
gets destroyed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. You usually, to be able to control the angles, you will use one of those abilities. It's either your punch or you will try to use the slow. Usually
Okay.
slow is more for just when they long range your team and you can do reasonable amount of damage. I think that's fine. Use the slow, put it on there. But see, because you used it before, it's just been two seconds.
Yeah.
I think. Wait. It was been just around there. I kind of just place it and in anticipation. Don't do it. I think rather see if there's anybody who's
Okay.
committing. Yeah, rather see actual commitment and then place it. Help yourself to do pressure.
Okay.
Let's put it this way. Yeah. So if there's any reasonable pressure you can do, doesn't matter with what. It's either you're slow or punch. Then you can. Yeah, so yeah, it just doesn't matter what long range or punch. You just can place your slow, depending on
Okay.
situation. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it has to be on the most active angle as well in the current moment. So see now, maybe pressure on the answer would be good. Later, yeah, there's a pressure on the hog, kind of reasonable. You also place your E just to to
Try
go
to
on
slow
him.
him down a
Yeah.
bit.
So this is kind of the most active angle at the given moment. Okay, now go off the top. So this is a little bit interesting. So there are multiple angles you can shoot. The hog is dead. And what do you think? What do you gotta shoot now? Is it just pressure the stop or yeah? What do you think?
So this was a situation I didn't really know what I feel like I should be doing. Because I also remember that moment. I think I chased down an Alari and I don't even kill her, but like I just kind of like their team didn't really capitalize it. I don't think,
Mhm,
but like if they did, they probably could have killed my backline for it. But in this
mhm.
situation, like I could go up to high ground, but the only thing is they do have 3 people. I guess I have my team behind me, but
Mhm.
yeah. So would crushing the high ground be the good situation here?
No, tell me. So just based on what we said, who does more
I,
at the moment? This guy over here, this high ground over there.
right now, I feel like the high ground would do more to my
Yeah.
team.
The high ground is more oppressive, simply. Yeah. So
Mhm.
get a pressure at the top. But how you would go about that? Is it just walking down main there, or doing anything else?
Um,
What would
I
be
mean, could
better
I just
play?
simply walk up top? I do have my form for when I get low, and I did pop form.
Yeah.
Could
See,
I
it's
like
just
just
it's
go
becomes
up a
really
little bit
tough to
far if
pressure. You see
needed?
this? Why is it tough for you to pressure right now? Why there's a hesitation to walk forward for you? You see this?
Yeah, so there is a soldier just shooting me up top, and Hanzo shooting me from the left, and then
Yeah,
both their supports are
yeah,
also dealing damage to
yeah,
me.
yeah. It's
So
because
it's
you
kind of like a
also
4v1.
dealing with non-active angles in a way, which your team
Okay.
is not. It's not important for your team yet.
Mhm.
Well, maybe it will be, but you can always simplify it to let's push active angle first, absorb meaningful pressure, and later I can start absorbing the other guy's pressure. Of course, there's some exceptions. Maybe you realize somebody's in easy kill, can go after them, maybe try to chase them even. But right now, you're getting pressured by those non-important guys as well. Your
Mhm.
team just not able to control, and in reality, you see your team's really far back too. So it's
Yeah.
reasonable to just take your time and set up. I think. Why
Okay.
not? Yeah, we can
I
take.
guess yeah. If I just wait a little bit, maybe try to deal some poke damage, I can get my cooldowns back as well, and then my team will be there like
Yeah,
in
exactly.
5 more seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, going after angles, active angles, and your cooldowns, your slow is helping you out a lot. And it's just the timing. Yeah, timing wise, I think the most of your team they should be able to synchronize on the pressure on what you're doing most of the time.
Hmm.
I think to just keep it simple. Yeah, the tanks, fundamentals. Yeah, we
Hmm.
simply those guys are trying to get. It's just really hard, and your team. Yeah, well, they
I
sort
mean,
of trying to
I get
support you.
nano.
Yeah, but you see, it's the part of the reasoning. There's a big part of the reasoning that because your position is here, I think, and they
Yeah.
try to enable you.
Yeah.
Just make sure you stay alive. I'll be so much better if we up top right away and then push out that important angle first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you see here? What do you think? So pressuring this, maybe there's nobody
Mhm.
else to pressure currently, but should we be committing our cooldowns and resources right now?
Probably not committing everything now because they're gonna have more people. So maybe I'll stop them for a bit. Cool. Maybe we get payload for it, but I feel like in this situation, it's like I am most likely going to die. I
Yeah,
feel
exactly.
because they have more people
What
coming in.
area your team is looking to control? Because we're thinking, let's push active angles right now, right?
Mhm.
With those active angles, you see this? Can your team control this?
No.
Not yet. Yeah. So we just can try to let them in a little bit. Just try to
Hmm.
let them in and pressure them later. Similar thing to what we did
Okay.
here. Kind of constantly pressuring. There was Hanzo shooting us here or the soldier there. Your team is not able to control that yet, so you can set up.
Hmm.
You can set up differently. If there's nobody else to
Yeah.
pressure, yeah, it's
I
okay
guess
to take your time.
in this scenario, like if I wait for them to like try to push through and then like slow, and then if that would get a lot of people, and then we can my team could maybe capitalize
Yeah,
on that and deal damage.
of course. Yeah, that's what I think
Okay.
too. And this is how you probably yeah. Like, based on where your team is, you totally would get that support. You see how far we are? Your team is like,
Yeah.
well, maybe I want to support that guy, but maybe the sack, well, maybe I want to do damage, or maybe and I want to nade those guys, but just really hard, yeah, because
Mhm.
nobody's
Yeah,
walking.
exactly. And like if they threw a nade, it would probably just hit me.
Yeah. It still works in a way because you kept them busy, but just the amount of resources you guys throw in as
Yeah.
well, it's
Yeah,
not.
what did we use the Lari ult. Or no, they use the Lari ult.
Yeah, well, they
We use a lot of
use
cooldown.
yeah, you only use cooldowns, but there's a high chance as well, I think, that you can be forced to use one of your support ultimates like Mercy Valkyrie
Yeah,
with this
yeah.
play. We want to be
It's one of those
careful.
yeah. It's one of those situations like sure it works now, but don't
Yeah.
count on that. Try
Yeah.
not to play by that.
Yeah. It's gonna be difficult for sure.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Actually pushing top is good, and pushing that most active angle now, and setting up here, sure. Now pressure, yes. Should you commit your E right now, or
I don't think I should have. It is a long cooldown, and I feel like I use it too much. Especially like watching this VOD. Like I don't think I really do anything with it. Like that like the one moving platform literally goes above the Moira. I don't even think I get any damage off because of that.
well, but let's say your team is up there with you,
Hmm.
maybe, yeah, then would it be that good decision to actually maybe shoot it on something? Maybe let's say shoot it on a Lari, damage the Alari. All my team is set up here. Let's shoot the Lari. What do you think? Would it work?
I think it actually could because then like I guess with this slow there, like she can't really get away with her normal jump
Yeah, maybe.
without going even further away from her team.
Yeah, maybe.
Um,
Exactly. To see a
and
lot
their
of your
tank isn't there now too.
yeah, yeah, a lot of your pressure it should be based on what you can do, but most importantly, what your team can do as well. But how do you
Mhm.
know if your team is actually able to do stuff? You see?
I I guess just kind of knowing, like kind of looking around every once in a while, just being like,
Yeah,
hey, where's my team right now?
yeah. You just need to right before the pressure, before applying pressure to solve the timing. You just know you tank in the right space. and go up to
Yeah.
the vulnerable people, those active angles, just soak around, I think. That's it.
Mhm.
So right now you should be doing that. You would probably make a decision to not sow in now, but sow it slightly later. When your Genji is over
Mhm.
here, Mana is over here, Mercy with me, sure, let's go after, maybe Alaria is fine, I think. Why not? You can try to
Mhm.
just damage her with far with your stuff, and should be okay.
Mhm.
But now it's just kind of all this waiting, and maybe there's a potential for you to do something better with your cooldown. Yeah, and that is what's more complicated. Punches are right, yeah. Punching in the area, the most active right now is the Winston. Obviously, gotta watch the follow-up too, just in case, but they really committed. You see now, again, the same stuff with your E.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm kind of just throwing my slow. Like I feel like when I'm playing Rammatra, I kind of just throw slow. It's like, oh, I have slow, and I'm gonna go in a fight. I'm just gonna use it,
yeah,
and I feel like there's no real, in a sense, thought behind most of my slows. Like even here, like it was too short, and I
yeah.
don't even know if I got anyone with it.
Yeah, it's just kind of be more patient. I think it's fun sometimes
Mm,
to also not exactly be controlling the same space together with your team, but most of the time it's beneficial. Most of the time you
mm,
need to synchronize with your team, but sometimes there might be an exception where, well, you realize you can kill something. Well, there's a high chance
mm,
you're gonna kill. Well, maybe so you're slow. Usually you can. I think there's a more complicated way of looking at it. If you slow, you're slow, you trade couple more cooldowns, then the slow can work. But you have
yeah,
to be more patient as well. Doesn't matter you synchronize with your team or using slow just for yourself, kind of enable your own play.
yeah,
And so this entire brush and this shield, I think you would, if you could do it slightly later, just maybe when your team turns the corner, it would be so much better. And I appreciate the proactivity though. I think it's great, but yeah, it's just slightly. Yeah, this guy's also not kiting properly, but yeah, it's good. It's good to keep them busy though. I like the proactivity. I would keep doing the same, but just also make sure you time the brush a
mm,
little bit more. So like now, for example, this might look reasonable because your team, they actually have sidelines to shoot this choke, and you got the answer, you got your own damage. Maybe you can try to slow them.
mm,
I think I'd be okay. Yeah, might be. And there's a Discord. I think. Wait, no, oh, not Discord. Sorry, damage boost of your mercy.
mm.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, now clear the point, and got even decent time here too.
Mm.
So it's nice. Okay, what about defense? Let's watch. Yeah, I think on defense might be challenging sometimes, but let's watch. So keep applying pressure. Let's watch the most active angles where they are. Okay, so they're not doing much with the high ground yet. Let me see.
Yeah.
What do you think about that E there?
Um, I think it was in a sense like in my mind, I think I should have thrown it more to the left if I
Yeah,
were to do it.
yeah,
I think with my slows a lot too, I kind of just place it where they are, not where they're going to be, so
yeah,
that it
yeah,
kind of just doesn't do much.
yeah, yeah. So it's just the only another layer. Yeah, anticipate where they are gonna go, and we also
Mm,
saw it with your previous slows too. If you could have thrown it just in an area where you're anticipating them to go, because here their defense rotation is try to go all the way left potentially. The
yeah,
Tsar is gonna give up that space over here, and then the rest of your team can follow up. So you still kind of cut off their defensive rotation. Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I like to say. Anticipate where they're gonna go. And but timing wise, actually, yeah. What do you think? Timing wise, is it looking good? If we saw the slow right now,
I think it could work. Up top, like it's a little iffy. I don't know if it was the right move to drop off high ground here, because I kind of did just give up that space in a sense.
oh,
But
but what your let's just put it this way. What kind of what is the most important damage on your character? At what?
the pummel form,
Yeah, yeah. So
I guess yeah, getting up and just trying to deal that damage since they are cut off a little bit right now. And then if
yeah,
I did throw the slow to the left a little more, I don't think they'd actually be able
yeah,
to retreat.
yeah, yeah,
And I probably could have secured a kill.
Yeah. Is it a
there.
good time to pressure based on what your team is doing right now, based on where they are?
Okay.
Is it looking good to you?
Yeah, because I
Yeah?
think they all have sight lines of me.
Yeah, exactly. Is this what we want? Obviously, some of the things to tweak, yeah, maybe you can. Also,
Mhm.
just have the better angles. Your Echo could have better angle. Maybe your who else? I think maybe May want to get slightly closer, but other than that, it's looking good. Most of your team is able to apply pressure, so it's a good decision to start dropping, use your pummel, and just plays your E slider better. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's looking fine though. You're applying pressure in the right area. Just don't miss your punches. Be careful. This again.
Yeah, once again throwing it like at Hanzo rather than where he's going to be.
Yeah. And I'm also thinking, who's the more active angle at the moment too? You see this?
Bastion.
There's Bastion. Yeah. Stuff like that. That is something you gotta watch out for. Just
Okay.
position-wise, burst-wise. Position-wise, burst-wise. This guy does a lot of burst, but not positioning. This guy does decent amount of burst too, but positioned. So you can just try to apply pressure on them, I think. They got yeah, actually it can work this way. If you anticipate, yeah, I think you can catch them. It's just not the most consistent, but yeah, it might actually work
And
this
I also was not planning that.
Yeah. If you're planning, then it would be really good. If you're not, then that's where we want to shift our mindset a little, making sure that we apply pressure on the active angle on the right time. Yeah, here definitely don't want to overcommit in here.
Slow,
But yeah, this looks decent timing wise. Most of your team's actually here. Just place it slightly more behind and
yeah.
would be better. But this one is interesting. You have the Zara over here, and the enemy team's moving there. What's your active angle you should pressure now? This might be tricky.
In my mind right now, the Zarya is totally cut off from her team.
Yeah, but
So I feel like-
who does more? Well, she is killable, right? Might be.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then, but also they do have a damage boosted Bastion right now, who could, in a sense, if he popped into his turret, could probably melt a lot of my team.
Yeah. So what do you think?
Especially like an Echo. So probably going more towards back to point, thinking, okay, you know, there's 4 people on point.
Yeah.
Sure, this one person's over there, but if they distract us for like, you know, maybe 10, 20 seconds, they do their job.
Yeah.
On tank.
Yeah. This is typically what happens on the tank. You gotta tank people, and if I'm tanking that one person, that does not make as much sense compared to tanking this. And we mentioned you need to tank meaningful damage, but all these guys are sort of on the same angle. Let's call it angle A, while the Zarya is at the angle B. So maybe if they're gonna be 3 people at the angle B, only 2 at the angle A, then sure, let's tank angle B. Maybe. But it's just gonna be another layer, another factor for you to look at. You're trying to tank based on the numbers as well, on the angle. You can decide what angle is scary based on the numbers. Okay, let's try to go there. And of course, try to maybe cut off some of the guys. Let's say Hans is over here. Okay, and the rest of the people that are pushing up. I don't want to peek the Hanzo, but I just want to peek those guys who are here. Maybe slightly more pushed up because they're more dangerous always. You want to also separate the damage. Attack the most active, the target priority was. And usually the tanks, they have more defensive abilities. And that's what they want to do. They want to absorb your pressure. So they actually traded one bubble with 2 of your abilities now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not looking good.
Team and they leaded me out. If their team looked at me, which
yeah,
and I also make a really bad position movement here.
Yeah, it's just your team's dead because of the follow up too. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting nano.
Yeah. I also think I went back through the one room I was in before.
Yeah.
I think I need that.
Trying to get a kill is reasonable, I think. The follow up, well, there's not much else you can do. Yeah. Sure. Hey, do you have any questions so far, maybe, or everything's clear?
I guess so very first, like when they first get out of the area and I'm on defense on Rammatra, should I still be sitting up there on high ground just in case someone comes up there at first?
Yeah, you can start on the top, yeah, but later you can just fight for the area where the most damage, well, first of all, where your team is controlling and where you can do proper damage with your pummel. It is the most important, I think, because
Mm,
your pressure walls around this ability, you do more damage with this, so you get
yeah.
apply pressure in that area where you're able to do so. Yeah, so that was completely
Mm,
fine. Yeah, usually you give up the position, sure, it's kind of similar to Ryan. Yeah, you could fire strike
mm,
from that position non-stop, but you just drop eventually. You just need to contest this
yeah.
corner. It's also a good corner to contest, I think. Later you
Okay.
can try to contest under the bridge, and then later there's a sword fight over here. So yeah, it's good. It's
Okay.
okay. Yeah. Anything else or
No.
yeah, yeah.
Everything else is making sense to me.
Okay. Let's keep watching. Well, setting up on top, dropping. It's one of the situations where you could just stay top. You don't
Yeah.
need to drop right now. You could drop later.
Okay.
You just use the slow, use the shield, but do it later. Realistically, who's tanking right now? Well, who's controlling the space with you? Just to make sure.
A
Want to
Mercy
confirm.
Echo. That's it.
Yeah.
Like a
Aqua
Mercy
Mercy.
Echo's all in there, and I guess the Honest coming in, but like right now it's kind of a 1v3 in a sense,
Yeah.
besides the Echo in the back, but
Yeah. Yeah, just wait a
they
little
can be
bit
poked out
more.
pretty easily.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. It might seem that you need to stop the point as soon as possible, but you rather win the fight first and then the point will be stopped. Because if we look for ineffective trades, what has been so far? 2 cooldowns for what? The Lari lamp? I think the lamp
Yeah.
was pre-used even, so it's. But yeah, let's say okay, it's a trade for 1 cooldown. It's not effective still, and it's just because of the position. Those
Mm-hmm.
guys not gonna be forced to use anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if you're in this position already, I guess you have to commit. Yeah, there's just like a domino effect. One piece drops, and then you have to follow up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it makes sense why you're using ultimate here. No, it still worked eventually. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, good cooldown cycle and mechanics. I think it's looking fine too. There's no problem with this for sure. Okay, interesting. Let's see the attack and.
So this is where I definitely fall apart a lot, like with the target priority. I just
Hmm,
attack the Orisa too much here, and I think I just kind of like lose because of it in a sense.
I see. Yeah, so the risk is over here. Now, the same questions should be asked. What angle is more active on their
Right
teams?
now, the top, they got the Hanzo, they have the Alari, the Mercy damage boosting, the Soldier as well. Sure, there's a lone Orisa at bottom, but she's not doing a whole bunch.
So who is that would be exactly? Hanzo, Lari, or Orisa?
I think it would be Angle B just because they do have a Soldier and an Alari up there.
Yeah, potentially. The only problem is you can't get there right away. So
Mm,
I think
yeah.
you need to. Your pathing usually on the brawl tanks looks like this, so probably can clear the
Okay.
Hanzo first. Yeah, but sure, you can first shoot this, and
Hmm.
later shoot the Hanzo. Depending on the situation, it's either A or B. Shoot one of those
Hmm.
angles, but definitely don't stay here. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
not important. Well, it's important, but it's less important. It's not what's
Yeah.
gonna kill your team. Those guys over here.
Yeah.
This
Also, yeah.
guy.
Orisa.
Yep.
Orisa has three like good defensive abilities to stop me from damaging her.
Yeah.
So.
And see, the enemy soldier one should actually got the fire because they've been holding that position. Your Echo is doing pretty
Yeah.
decent controlling the top though, but they're probably gonna get killed by one of the angles, like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what happens. It's just A
Hmm.
and B clear your team there, it seems.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So it seems that it's just pretty straightforward. Here you have to reset.
Yeah.
When the most of your team is dead, it's fine. Now we have another chance retaking the fight, but you see, you get it. You have time.
I just kind of yeah, I kind of just throw in my E somewhere.
Y-
There was no thought behind
yeah.
that one.
Well, there's also just not able to shoot as well. Yeah. Well, maybe you
Yeah.
can sort of follow up, but yeah, there's clearly none. First of all, we're not sure if those people are active, and second,
Yeah,
you also
yeah.
need to set up. Yes. So where should it be right
Mhm.
now?
I feel like I should have gotten up to high ground because we can also cycle over
Yeah.
like where that soldier's been going
Yeah.
up a lot.
Yeah. Just
I
go
just got
go
right
up,
on point.
get rid of the Solari. Later,
Mhm.
you can try to push maybe their backline, even their answer. Later, you can try to rotate. You can just force the Sarissa to rotate away even a lot of
Mhm.
times. It's fine
Yeah.
if you don't just face tank it. She's stronger at rolling you face to face, I think, as well. With all
Yeah.
those fortifies and spins. Yeah, I think you're right. This is the main mistake. Just the target priority wise, really.
Mhm.
This tank just survives, and eventually you're like, almost got him, and yeah, the fortify again, and you.
I
So
think
all the cycles of
yeah.
Rash have been on her, yeah, and she's not dying.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think at one
Yeah.
point we actually do kill her, but then she gets revived.
We're gonna kill.
So it's like
Oh, she's
or do
even
we kill her?
ulting. Yeah, she's. Nah,
Oh
no.
no, she doesn't
Well, we
die.
never killed her this fight, at least. Well,
Mhm.
almost was close. All right.
But
Okay.
yeah.
Well, we have some time, so I'm thinking, do you want to maybe watch the rest of the part on the Hog Doomfist, or do you want to... there's also something we can do, try to do a game and apply some of the stuff, what we talked about, but yeah, what do you want to do? Do you want to review
Um
this, or do a game?
I'm trying to think because like I said, the hog gameplay, I just think I was not in it, so I don't think like I think like yeah, there'd be a lot of like helpful information, but I guess I don't know. I feel like a lot of it wasn't just like my best gameplay as hog for sure. So maybe that still would be helpful. I guess I don't know, but
Yeah, it's up to you. Yeah, I think we could. We could also review the part of the Doomfist. That's
sure,
fine.
yeah, I guess cause the Doomfist wasn't great, but I like I said, I just don't know where to start with Doomfist.
Yeah, you can
So do
start
you
with
want
the
to
target
go
priority
there?
too, if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we can watch. Yeah, do you want to watch the
Because I
Doom?
also
Hmm?
yeah, because that's the thing with Doomfist a lot is like it's so much on cooldowns as well for Doom,
Yeah.
and I just yeah,
That's for sure. Yeah,
and
well,
then yeah.
we could use the same lens again, so to not overwhelm, just do not add too many details. We can mainly focus on the target priority, and
Mhm.
I think with Doomfist, because you have a lot of mobility, it's just the setup is quite important. Like, you gotta, yeah, just your
Mhm.
setup to fight active angles. But yeah, up to you. Do you want to review the Doomfist a little then, or?
Yeah, just because like I said, I feel like it's hard for me to even try Doomfist without like any help right now because I just don't know where to start.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so we'll kind of clear the top. So target priority wise, what do you think? Does it look good,
So
bad, or yeah? What's your thoughts?
I think that was good because well, if I jumped on Sigma, first of all, he's a tank and I won't do too
Yeah.
much against him. He
Mm.
also has rock,
Yeah.
so that stuns me a lot.
Yeah.
But
That's
otherwise, yeah, my idea here was that like the high ground has been really pressuring my team, like that angle. So if I go up there and get them off, maybe that'll help set them up for a lot more.
yeah. I think
Uh,
target priority wise looking good. The only one
yeah.
problem we have here is if you notice when you start here, you try to deal damage from really far, like you would do with Ram from really
Hmm.
far. You would shoot with your stuff, but now this damage doesn't do a lot here.
No,
No. So what are you gonna do here then instead? What do you think?
I think I just have to like. I was kind of thinking of where I go, and then just I kind of like jump, and then if I don't shoot, then I should have all my little 4 rounds to do. So I feel
Mhm.
like just jumping on the high ground if my team is ready.
Yeah, just confirm with your team. You might go after them. I also highly suggest to not just go right away,
Hmm.
but you can think about similar ways, Ram. We talked about it. Just make sure you set up for your engagement, then fight. And the thing
Hmm.
is that the best setup you could be looking for with the Doomfist when trying to go after the top, or could there be a better position you could set up at initially? What do you think?
Um, could I have gone like more to the right side so I didn't have to use my jump to go in? So like
Possibly?
more, I guess like kind of like what the way you take his brawl tank. I could take
Yeah,
a decent
this
amount of
way.
damage there, which would leave
Yeah,
me vulnerable.
yeah. What
But
do you
going
think?
that way,
Yeah, if you sit
I
here,
think that I think that'd be better because then I wouldn't, like I said, I would have my jump where I could use to
yeah,
get out of a situation
yeah,
too,
yeah.
or just another cooldown I could say.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you need to look for is the Doomfist mainly.
Yeah.
You need to set up at the short 90, 180 angle. This is what I call it. If the rest of my team is over here, the position A, or maybe let's say the position A over here, most of the team pushing point, sure. Then I can try to go B. This forms 180 angle, or maybe 90 angle, depending on situation, depending on what map layout gives you. But usually because you have that, you're able to boop the enemy in, and you're just able to control the space together with the rest of your team. It's easier for you to engage. You don't have to look for a really, really long range, kind of just jump in from really far and close the distance. You just set up the short distance angle setup, and after that, you can decide what you do with your abilities. You can start using your either, I think, start with slam or just go for the punch if there's a good opportunity. But this is what you can start with, because if you sit here, then you take a lot of poke damage, and this is how your HP drops. And a lot of better people as well, especially if they have a lot of just great awareness or some sort of CC, it's easier to punish you as well, typically, if you do this linear engagement, kind of just go in right away without the setup. Well, we did sort of setup, but you can look for even better angles if you like. There's a punch away. Okay. Now playing over here. So see, right now, where could you go?
Yeah, there. I think there I should have. Well, first chilled out a little bit. I'm very low health, and I just punched him.
Yeah.
I feel like I could have gone in a room to the left, maybe.
This one, just inside.
I guess if I go through there, maybe I could see something behind. The only thing is, then I'd be cutting off my team.
That's another
I don't
option.
really know where I'd go here.
180 short range angle, according to where your team is. What that can be as well.
Sorry, say that again.
180 short angle. So short angle, just relatively to where the enemy team's fighting. This one, well, maybe, but you're gonna be cut off. So what's another option?
Yeah. I could go more right and try to maybe get the Sigma, like, could I, like, maybe try to punch the Sigma closer to my team?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, potentially.
I'd have to take a really wide angle for that.
Yeah, potentially. I think this is still better. It's still better instead of doing this, what you're trying to do now. You're trying to punch from here to here, and it's gonna be really tough. Setup first, short range, 180 angle, and then start doing something later. And target priority wise, yeah, choose the most active, etc. But just don't punch right away. Because this is what happens. This soldier is just like, oh wait, this guy's coming from really, really far. Let's just try to hide. And he sees you, I think.
And then he just backs up a little bit.
He's like, yeah, this guy's gonna punch me. Yeah, okay, let's run. He's not even using the shift. He's just, okay. He's picking out.
He just backs up a little bit.
Yeah, backs up a little. He's not even scared as much. But if you're the better position, it's gonna be easier for you to punish. I think did you try to anticipate the soldier there, or?
No, what I was doing there is I think what I was trying to do is getting the Sigma closer to my team.
I see. One of the options, yeah, that could work. I'm just thinking, but you see this picture, what angle is gonna matter more? If you actually anticipate a soldier there, and you know the answer is over there, what angles are more important for you to go after?
Right now, probably the soldier, because if I leave, well, since I leave high ground, he's just gonna be uncontested, and I have an Echoing Mercy who might be flying in the air. And
yeah, exactly, exactly. That's exactly what you need to look for, I think. And you have pretty short sideline on him as well, so he's not gonna have enough time to react. This is scary, but you're just not as close to them.
There's not much I can do there.
Yeah, there's just not much. It's still good play, I think. Well, you can booping off, yeah, mechanically works really well, but those active angles just killing your team non-stop. This is the problem.
So, like, even if I kill tank, it's like, well, maybe one or two of my back.
Yeah, it's so good, but just, yeah, after you have to, at least like right now, go after this guy. This guy does more at the moment, so you need to.
As well as he's cut off from his team, so if I do good damage to him, he doesn't have a good way of getting.
Yeah, exactly. Later, this guy kills your second support. I mean, the Mercy, second he made. Yeah. What do you go after now, by the way? If you're in this position,
Moira, because I saw her fade.
What do you shoot? Oh, okay. Well, that could make sense, I think.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
which could work. They could be down to support. The only thing is,
Yeah.
I guess their soldier is also there,
Yeah.
so he could kill someone, which he didn't here, I guess,
Yeah.
but he could have killed
Your team
someone. And
lost to
now,
Hanzo on the angle overall, I
yeah,
think.
yeah.
It's uh
I should have just canceled my punch there.
yeah, I think you could have stayed and
Yep. And then there, I think there, I remember telling my team, yeah, I made a bad play. I'm sorry.
that's alright. I see if you also committing after this, can your team follow up there?
No,
No, not so much. So you
they're too
can
far away.
yeah, you can just wait. You can wait for the bad opportunity. Of course, the exceptions can be if you can punish something easily isolated. By the way, there's a guy hiding. If you again, we can track that. There's another part. It can always increase the awareness. Eventually, that is something you can do over time. That's possible. It's another topic which can help. But
Yeah, yeah.
answering the question, so where they are, what they're gonna do, and such.
Yeah, it's like even with like mobile characters like Echo and Genji, they just can't help me here because I'm too far up.
Yeah, yeah,
And I kind of
exactly.
get punished for it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. There's just no opportunity for your teammates to help you out.
Mm-hmm.
Your Mercy is trying to use Valkyrie there, and maybe they wanted to res, but they cannot. Unfortunately, yeah, it's gonna be tough. So this makes sense, can go off the soldier. There's small stuff such as try to play around their abilities, like their hook. They missed the hook though. Ideally, we just kind of briefly punch back, and because they're trying to show the hook, this way you dodge it. Because, yeah, you punch. Okay. Charged. This one is interesting. So see, if you... The dragon's here. Okay, your cycle of pressure is over. And now you can just repeat it. You can set up and fight again. So where could he go right now?
Right now,
Yeah.
I could maybe jump, so like that, like the stairs, high ground, maybe go over there, because I could see that my Genji's over there.
The high ground here?
Like go to that general area, maybe.
Oh,
my Genji's there.
yeah, so navigate me. So A, B, maybe C. Yeah,
Okay, maybe I
which
should have
one?
gone B right there.
Yeah, what's this?
Or
Why that? Why that is good?
I guess
I think first of
honestly, I
all,
don't
can
really
reach
know.
A probably. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. Well, unless you have two of your cooldowns, but yeah, you only have
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess here maybe going to B, waiting for Dragon to be over so people can have line of sight on me again, or on who I'm attacking. But I guess what would be the use of going to A or C right now, even if I could?
Yeah, well, why do you, in the first place, why we wanted to go on the 180 angles? What was that about?
So
Remember, we mentioned at first, why we
yep.
don't do this, when you
Mhm.
started with the bridge and going after the enemy team, they were over here. Why don't do this, but do this? Like I
Oh
said,
yes, okay. So then I could be closer to them, and I wouldn't have to use a cooldown to get
yeah,
somewhere.
closer,
So
yeah.
I guess so. If I go to A or C, then like I would be getting a little closer, but I'd have to use my jump to get there. But if I go to B, I could maybe wait, make sure I have my cooldowns, and then find ways to like work around them now that I would have them, so I could go in maybe and punch in
Yeah,
or block or whatever I can do. I'd have my
yeah.
cooldowns.
Yeah. I think accordingly the way the fight's gonna be, I think the B is alright. The A might be C just a little bit further away, but possible as well. It's just dependent on what's available now. It's just realistically you can get to A or C because of the
Yeah.
cooldowns, so just go towards the B. And what those 180 angle does as well, those good angles for Doomfist, is you splitting the enemy attention. Because some attention goes to your B, your team can walk from the main areas.
Yeah.
You can walk and take space. And that's how you abuse the positioning on Doomfist.
Okay.
You just make them look away, and they start absorbing. You start absorbing pressure and split the enemy attention. It's quite good most of the time if you're able to do so. That's good. That was. active hog, well, try to hook, try to cancel, fine. But it would be so
Mhm.
much easier as well if you would be sitting in that left side position.
Yeah, if I was
Maybe,
if I was sitting somewhere else versus
yeah,
jumping over the dragon,
exactly.
in
You see,
order
it
to
kind of
beat that, I
went,
think I
you
should
give
just
up a lot of space there. You see
yeah,
this, yeah?
exactly.
And
Hmm.
now the enemy
Yeah,
hog walks for
they
free.
walk, they kill my Baptiste.
Exactly. And then this Alaria, but imagine, even though they try to walk on you, they're like, oh, Doomfist is over here, let's try to walk. That's what you want. And if they walk on
Hmm.
you on the space where your team is able to control, that's alright. Your BAP is gonna able to do stuff, maybe place window. Maybe your Mercy is gonna try to also support you. That's fine. Yeah, the rest of your DPS as well, obviously. Just because of your position. Yeah, okay. Well, now I have to give up some space, yeah.
Yeah, which I just go back in and kind of die.
That's alright. And now the same thing. You get a setup, so don't shoot those guys even. Just where should you go?
Yeah. Right here, I should. I think it like just going. Let's see here. I think just going main might work here.
Go main to
Um,
where? What is the
like
position?
if I go in on like I'm trying to think here because they're kind of all bunched up. So
Yeah, the one there.
as Doomfist, maybe like could I go through like the building to the left of Bastion and maybe try to
Oh, you could. Yeah, actually, it could
because
work. Yeah.
because then if I go in on him, my team could still see me, and I could damage the Bastion, maybe split some of the attention from like the Hog and the Alari for them to go in on me. The only thing is that I'm leaving myself vulnerable to like Bastion form, Roadhog hook,
Yeah,
and
well,
also Storm
you can
Arrow.
bait it out. You can, if
Mm-hmm.
there's some sort of ability, you can always try to bait it out with yours and just how you play corners. It's another story
Mm-hmm.
though, but yeah, it's possible. Sure, you can do that. Maybe there's also even just take the top here. That's also right. And later you can try to rotate, punch people in, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, definitely don't do
That
this.
or
Don't shoot from here. You're
yeah,
missing. All of your HP is lost instantly as well.
yeah, I'm just taking damage and like even if I hit all my shots on Doomfist, it's like well, I'm doing 20 damage.
Yeah. Exactly, exactly. Just not as valuable. Maybe on Sigma, yeah. You can try to fight,
Mm-hmm.
but set up short 180 angle and fight next after. That's what
Okay.
we want to do most of the time. And the same stuff applies as before, going after active people and such. But now this engagement is really linear. Go from here all the way. Okay, I'm trying to get there. And there's a high chance the enemy team can punish that. They can react as well. You commit your
Yeah.
cooldown such, and
And I get
this,
like a kill, but like
yeah,
I I
yeah,
don't know. I don't think it was really worth it.
yeah. It's
'Cause, I
just the
mean, we traded one
space.
DPS per tank.
Yeah, it's just kind of the space where they're active, but they just able to shoot you. So your team is sort of not controlling that either. It's just if you're really confident to get a kill without getting yourself killed, sure, this might work. But now, you see, this might be more important for you to control and for your team. Maybe even
Okay.
Hog, maybe even Alaria. It's just this guy's really far. Well,
Hmm.
sometimes, yes, you can get those, but yeah, I don't think you can easily get away because you committed
Yeah,
all.
I just
Yeah,
committed like 3, 4 cooldowns,
yeah, it's
including
just
my ultimate.
a lot. Just cannot
Hmm.
survive. And your
And then
mercy cannot res you.
I think here's where I swap.
Yeah, exactly.
Think.
Yeah, no, I think probably yeah. You. This is what I remember. This is where we started.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, we mentioned quite a lot. I'm thinking, what if? Yeah, let's just try to summarize. What do we got out of today so far? You tell me. What
So
are the concepts?
I can tell like on Rammatra, I guess, or just in general, like with cooldown usage, just being a little more patient and like having some more thought behind it. Like the E, for example, on Rammatra is slow. I'm kind of just throwing it where they are, where by the time it goes out, they can almost be out of it. Um, so like just like being a little more patient, especially with those longer cooldowns, could be one thing I need to focus on.
Yep.
Um, Another thing is thinking about where my team is and maybe there's a group of people I can go in on, but if my team is a mile behind me, what is that going to do? In a sense, like there was one point I was pushing high ground, but my whole team was like behind the wall, so it didn't really do anything, and I committed 2 cooldowns for it.
Yeah.
So I
Makes
guess
sense.
that I can summarize to playing with the team more.
Yeah, playing for
Um,
the team, but you don't have to play with them, stay with them
yeah.
in a way, but just take
Mhm,
your own stuff, take the positions, but synchronize the pressure a little bit more. That's how you
mhm,
solve your target priority. Yeah, we mentioned going after active angles, but what it's based on.
mhm.
Remember that, yeah?
So, yep. Yeah, so yeah, also focusing on like the angles people are taking. So because like there may be a Sigma on low, or there might be the Orisa on low, but the Orisa's not killing your team. The Hanzo and Soldier on top are, So thinking of like, in a sense, who is most likely here to kill some of my team, and how can I pressure them to either get a kill on them or get them to not focus my team.
Yeah, yeah. I think so far, three things we mentioned today are gonna be good enough, kind of check marks.
Mm,
Just make sure your target priority is solved. Is who does a lot of bursts right now? What is the position and the numbers on the angles?
mhm,
Based on this information, you can just decide what you gotta go after. Obviously, with numbers, be careful. Don't expose yourself to too many people. One set at a time,
mhm,
too. But yeah, deal with more active people. Really, there are a lot of
mhm,
times angles. Hunter take an angle, killing your team. Maybe a soldier is on the
mhm.
top again, killing your team. But make sure you set up before as well.
Yeah,
Set up, fight. Yeah, so it's kind of universal for every character, but yeah, for Doomfist specifically, your setup. What angles you looking
yeah.
for again to take as Doomfist?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like on with Doomfist, like thinking of scenarios where I can maybe like if I know I can get a kill, first of all, like I just know I can, which can also just be very hard to just say, but there's that. Thinking of setting up, so like for example, I was setting up on high ground
oh,
like a
yeah,
brawl tank might, but then I have to jump in to actually do anything. Versus if I were to go on the side, I could. If I'd already set up more, I could have used just one cooldown versus two. And I would have had a get out plan.
yeah, yeah. That too, exactly. Yeah, I'm just gonna phrase it in notes. 180, well,
Mm-hmm.
let's say 90 to 180 angles. Those what it means is the angles where they look around a little bit more at you,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure those are short as well. Set up more
Yeah.
as a Doomfist. Specifically for him, I think it's really important. You need to abuse your mobility to set up more compared to Ram, but yeah, once you do that, it's gonna be so much easier. You're not gonna take a lot of poke damage and such.
Yeah.
So it's nice. Okay. Yeah, then this is good. Yeah, I think this is good. This is enough.